And we are off. He is Brent Hanks. I am Jeff Platt. This is No Gamble, No Future. Mr. Hanks, right off the bat, can you just allow me a moment? Can you just give me a moment to express my views on an event that took place over the weekend? Is that okay?
Oh boy, we've had a lot of events.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, please.
And I mean, we'll get to the good stuff in the show, our Circa cards, the tracker, Hanksy Heater is a thing, Fade Platt is a thing. We'll throw in some poker talk at the end, some Ryder Cup. But first, Brent, I want to discuss an NFL head coach. An NFL head coach whose team had a 3rd and 15 on Sunday, pretty common occurrence. And that NFL head coach's team gained 13 yards. Okay. But wait, flag on the play. That happens all the time. Offsides. So this NFL head coach can either take the 3rd and 10 or the 4th and 2 towards midfield. Chooses the 4th and 2. All right, that's fine. And then punts.
And how many points were they down by?
I don't know, but they
like
were
13.
Down.
I mean,
they were down.
They could get back in the game.
Yeah, but declines the penalty to take the 4th down and punt. Yeah. And the reason I bring this up, Brent, is because we lost to this coach. We lost to this team. That team is the Houston Texans. They covered the spread against the Browns, and somehow they get there. How did we lose that game?
It's unbelievable. And yet entirely
very believable,
predictable and believable, because some of these coaches, Jeff, I swear to Christ, you and I could be NFL coaches.
Bit of a stretch, probably, but compared to some of these, we certainly would have punted there. We wanted to decline a penalty, a punt.
I don't know what a zone package is. I don't know what the nickel means or the dime. I mean, it's currency, but I know not to do what that guy did.
Yeah.
I mean, asinine. What was that? And I don't care if it cost us a pick in the Circa Million, which we'll discuss and get to, but that's just, there's no common sense or logic there. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't get it. We had a solid week in that Circa Sports Million. This is a $4 million plus prize pool. We went 2-3 in week 1. We go 3-2 in week 2. Our wins: the Panthers, the Colts, and Brent. Shout out Bills Mafia, yeah? There it is. If you're not watching, Brent's got the Bills Mafia flag draped over his shoulders.
Got the hat from the 716 store. No free ads, but I love that store.
Yeah.
Got the Bills blanket back there. I mean, it's everything, Buffalo.
Yeah, we are at our home bases as Poker Masters has wrapped up. We move on to Super High Roller Bowl and World Series of Poker. We'll get to that soon. So our losses being the Browns and Brent. The Falcons is kind of a brutal loss when they're down 3, getting 12.5. Early 4th with ball, down 3, getting 12.5. We were just living the dream. And then just a couple pick sixes later, and it's night to us. So we fall
Can we pause there for a minute as well and just touch on the Falcons? Because we've been on them 2 weeks straight. No more. We're done. Like rest of season. Seriously, rest of season.
Out on the Falcons.
We are not allowed, and we need to agree on this before we head into our picks later in the show. We are not allowed to place a bet on the Falcons.
I'd be willing to discuss this, but coming into the show, Brent, our top 5 is set. My top 5 might have the Falcons, might not.
No, you
have
can't.
The
No, that's what I'm saying right now. At the top of the show, before we get there, if they are in your top 5, you got to remove them. We can't do this to ourselves anymore.
I can't agree to that. But I might not have them in my top 5.
They are absolutely cursed.
Oh, they are cursed.
They're cursed. Tom Brady did it to them.
Yeah.
They're cursed.
Yeah.
They can't win. We can't be betting them in the contest. This could cost us the entire Circa Million contest.
It could.
Riding the Atlanta Falcons week after week. We got to stop.
It could. We are 5-5 right now. That puts us in a tie for 1,828th place.
We're right in the mix.
Middle of the pack. I mean, we could not afford 2 under 500s in a row to start the season. So I think we're
never doing it again.
I think we're actually okay. Only 12 people are undefeated at 12-0. So a reminder of our rules. We have each separately created a top 5. We take my top 2. We take Brent's top 2. The 5th pick comes if we have the same side on any other games. Our friend Betcoin gets involved, which I think producer John has at our home base. Brent, maybe I'll have you just grab a random coin or something if we need Betcoin's involvement, which would take place if you had the opposite side of one of my top 2, just anywhere in your top 5, or I had the opposite side of one of your top two, just anywhere in your top five, then Betcoin would decide which side we play. For our fifth pick, let's say we don't have any similarities, we don't have any common ground in our top five, Betcoin will decide whether to go with my third pick or with your third pick. I let us off last week, Brent. Why don't you do the same this week if you're ready with your number one pick for our Circa contest squad?
Number one pick. Okay, so week 3. I actually went back and forth with this. I was sitting outside, soaking in some UV rays, and I struggled with my number one pick. But
no, let me cut you off right there. This card was like really hard for me.
Really,
I nothing really like jumped off of the page. Like, okay, we got to fire this one. Go ahead.
I had two that I actually liked a lot. I just didn't know which one I wanted to make number one. I mean, which maybe I don't really love them, but whatever. Okay, number one for me, home dog, Minnesota Vikings plus 1.5.
Vikings plus 1.5.
Plus 1.5.
I don't have that in my card, but I don't have any opposition to that. So that one is in. That one is there. What are your quick thoughts on that one? Why do you lean Vikings?
I think they look fantastic. I'm loving Kirk Cousins. He's been outstanding. Cook is still healthy, sort of. He got a little banged up, but it sounds like he's coming back. We got to ride the healthy Cook heater. Adam Thielen picked up right where he left off last year. Jefferson's in the mix.
Yeah.
I think their defense at home can be all right. On the road, they're kind of a disaster, but at home they seem to be all right. And listen, Russell Wilson, I've loved him all season long. Heartbreaking loss last week, and now they're on the road, in Minnesota. I think they have a chance to lose 2 games in a row on this stretch of the schedule. And I just don't like the Seahawks right now.
Vikings probably still a bit undervalued because the bottom line is that record shows 0-2. So people are going to see the Seahawks against an 0-2 team, and they're going to click on the Seahawks, right?
Amazing. I mean, that's spot on, Jeff.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention the record situation. This is a must-win game for the Minnesota Vikings.
And they have a proven track record at home over the years, being pretty good at home.
Heartbreaker last week against the Cardinals. That kicker, I don't know where did he get cut? Is he still?
I don't know. I think he's still there. I think he was good before that, but
you got
to go. All right, my number one play. We talked about this briefly when we chatted earlier in the week, so I'm curious if you're on the same side or if you dodge this. I'm going to go with the LA Rams plus 1.5. We'll see what the contest line has at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do you have that side, or do you have opposition to that side?
They were my number 4 pick this week. I love the Rams as well, plus 1.5 at home. Yeah,
okay, good.
I think serve up a little Brady debacle.
I think we're on the same page, really, just based on how Vegas thinks of the Rams, right? Because Vegas opened the Rams as a favorite. As a favorite in LA against Tampa Bay. The Vegas sportsbooks guys, they know a lot more than old Hanks and Platt do. So I'm just going off that and making the Rams a play. All right, so we have 2
One more to add. One little note.
Please.
Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady's been in the league for 34 years, right?
Yes, he has.
He's never played a game in Los Angeles.
Wow.
This is his first trip in his entire career to the city of Los Angeles.
And LA could distract Brady.
West Coast, LA, bad traffic. He might get a little frustrated. I think this is where
could be a lot of commercials he has to shoot this week. Right. Endorsement deals. Okay, I like it. All right, you fire off your number 2 pick.
Number 2 for me. Hate to do it because I know Nick Wright would be happy about this. But I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs minus 6.5. Got the Chiefs minus 6.5. I think they win by a touchdown. So kind of like the spread.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Chiefs, hoping for that bounce back spot. They could have very easily covered on Sunday night against the Ravens very easily.
I thought that was a very fluky game.
I agree.
They blew it. And that bounce back, that what you just pointed out again, your points have been spot on today, Jeff.
Well, broken clock is right twice a day.
You're sharp. Yeah. Kansas City, they're never losing two games in a row. In fact, I just think they come out completely amped up at home, have that crowd behind them, and they're going to pound the Chargers coming into Kansas City.
So maybe some Hanksy plays. Keep your eye out on Twitter at NGNF Show. Maybe some first quarter, some first half Chiefs plays. All right, I like it. My second pick is an ugly one. No, it's not as ugly as picking the Atlanta Falcons, but it is as ugly, Brent, as picking the Jacksonville Jaguars at home plus the 7 against the Cardinals.
Got to flip it. I got Cardinals minus 7 as my number 5.
Okay, then flip it. Do you have a coin that will act in place of Bitcoin?
I didn't know this was going to be a part of the show. I didn't
Yeah,
realize we
same. I
needed
didn't
a
think of
coin.
that until we started
Did
recording.
not think
That's
about that.
well, we're true professionals.
Let me just find something that will flip around, not break. Maybe I've got a coin in a drawer.
Okay. I can pull up like a random number generator if you want. A little RNG, as the
You
cool
have
kids
that?
say.
How long is that going to take you? Because I don't have a coin.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll do 1 to 100, and you're gonna guess either the low 50 or the high 50.
Okay.
But don't guess yet.
Do I have to say the number or just under, low, or high?
Just yeah, you don't have to say the exact.
Can I say the number though? Just because that's kind of the fun of the game.
Yeah, you can guess the actual number too.
You can decide if it's low or high.
Well, I'm gonna see it, so yeah.
What if I say 50?
That's 1 to 50. Low.
Okay, so that's low.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to make sure we get.
Okay, I'll record this on my phone just for video evidence.
Okay.
Just so we have it. And I'll count down from 5, then I'll roll it, and then you can reveal the numbers. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom.
69.
Okay, so you're going to go 69 in the later 50, yes? The higher 50.
That's a higher 50.
It was not 69, but it was in the higher 50. The number was 80. So that means that the Cardinals will go on the card thanks to the random number generator. Cardinals -7 against the Jaguars.
That's my number 5, by the way, Jeff. I hated this game. I'm so sorry.
I just thought, based on our previous point, that the Cardinals were probably a little overvalued at 2-0 based on that last week's performance. They should have lost. Kyler looked fantastic at times and looked horrendous at other times. Yeah. I don't mind having this on the card.
I just did it again. I wanted to be against another rookie quarter. Trevor Lawrence, he's been airing it out. The Cardinals D's all over the place. I expect a lot of turnovers.
It's hard to ever click on the Jaguars. Yeah. So I'm okay with this. All right, so let's see if we have any common ground in the our remaining picks in our top 5, which we have not already discussed. So the rest of my top 5 that we haven't talked about, I had Falcons +3 against the Giants. Just a guess, you do not have that.
No way.
I have Patriots -2.5 or -3. It's different everywhere. We'll see what it is on the contest against the Saints. And I had the 49ers -3, hopefully, but it's maybe -3.5 against the Packers.
Okay, no, I didn't have any of those. Obviously, I told you we shared the Rams. I had the other side of the Cardinals. My other game that I didn't bring up, I actually like the Raiders at home -4 against the stinky Jacoby Brissett Dolphins. I think they're going to get pretty beat up. Raiders defense this year, much improved. They look great.
I agree. Good offseason for that Raiders defense. Pick up some guys. So because of that, our random number generator is going to have to decide between my third pick, which is, Brent, the Atlanta Falcons, and your third pick, which is, what was number 3 on your top 5?
That is 3 for me, the Raiders. -4.
Okay. Falcons.
Yeah, sorry. Raiders -4.
Raiders -4. All right, so we're going to do the exact same thing.
Jeff, there is something worth noting here as well, because that Jacoby Brissett news is relatively new. Tua is out. This line could shift. I don't know if the line that we're looking at is reflecting Jacoby Brissett.
I don't know if the line's does the line move that much from Tua to Jacoby? Does it move like half a point? Does it just stay? Are they maybe better?
I would assume
with
so. If it doesn't, then Tua, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Tua. I still see it at 4. We'll assume it's 4 for these purposes, but we'll always, in the future, we're going to record our podcast after the Circa lines come out. All right, so random number generator. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, guess, please.
I'm going to go with 69.
It was not 69 again. And this time, it was actually in the higher 50s. So you get it again.
God.
So we avoid putting the Falcons on the card again.
You just want us to Circa Million.
Or you did.
Well, no, you're random. You need to, whatever that company is, that we need to send them a.
The company is Google, so I think they're going to be okay without a tip from us.
Can you tip Google?
No. But I don't think we need to tip Google. But there we go. So the card is in. It is the Vikings +1.5, the Rams +1.5, Chiefs -6.5, Cardinals -7, and the Raiders -4. We kind of discussed other games. Any other plays? I mean, I kind of like Eagles plus the 4 against an inconsistent Cowboys team, but that's really all I had on my card. Anything else from you?
I like the over in that game.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay.
I know we're going to be both sweating that. For over 49, Eagles, Cowboys. The Thursday night stinker, Carolina.
Who's good?
Versus the Washington football team.
They play the Texans.
Or Texans, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, boy, that's terrible. Washington's playing Buffalo. The Texans, I like the under 42.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And we'll throw that on your card. We'll make sure to tweet that at NGNF Show. All right, so let's get into the tracker. It's ugly for me. It's beautiful for you. My top 5 last week on my card went 4-1, and I am down, Brent, now 11.7 units overall, 10.2 units in NFL, 1.5 in college. All 6 of the plays that I gave out on the podcast last week were losers. Yeah, we went. That's hard to do. That is very hard to do. Just as hard as going 6-0. So we're now down in college on the year. I'm a disaster. But the good news is, if you did this in season 1 and No Game Will No Future, you can just fade my selections and make a ton of money. Brent, I think you want a tail because he in college is up 5.8 units, in NFL up 2.8 units. So for this season of No Gamble, No Future, he is up 8.6 units. How's that feel?
Yeah. Well, it feels great. And I will also say, Jeff, you're betting every game on the board.
A lot of bets.
You're putting so it's really, you're 1 weekend away from being plus 11.
That's true. And we're going to switch things up on occasion when I actually do this. When you actually do this, we'll put more than a unit on a game. If it's a long shot money line parlay, we'll put less than a unit on a game or on a parlay or something like that. So again, follow us on Twitter for the latest play. Speaking of college, so obviously you want to fade these. Couple stood out to me. Colorado State plus 23.5 against Iowa. No idea how Iowa was able to cover last week against Kent State. I have Utah minus the 14 against Washington State. Charlie Brewer left the program, the quarterback. I think they're better without Charlie Brewer. And Washington State, as much as I'd like to say they're good because USC crushed them last week, I just do not think they're a very good football team. Utah minus the 14. And Brent, we've discussed this UConn team over the first couple of weeks. Wyoming's minus 30.5 against UConn.
Take it.
And yeah, I'm just going to take it. Army was up 42-0 in the early second and somehow didn't cover against UConn. So that's pretty chalky, but like Wyoming has been good this year and UConn is just absolutely abysmal. Any college plays you like?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a few in the Big Ten, which is where all the games I've been looking at.
Where you've been magical.
I can't bet every single game on the card. I don't know enough about these teams. Here's one for you. I like Ohio State minus 49 over Akron.
All right.
I like Purdue minus 11 at home over Illinois.
Purdue should have covered.
I'm with you, I believe, on the Kent State plus 14 side against Maryland. Did you say
I had Kent State last week, but I like them. I do. I still do like that play.
I like Kent State plus 14 at a very shitty Maryland team.
Okay.
And I like Wisconsin minus 6 to beat the absolute piss out of Notre Dame,
who has not looked good this season. Wisconsin minus the 6 against Notre Dame. All right, that sounds good. Brent, as we wrap up here, 2 things. Number 1, I'm off to the Ryder Cup this week. So we're going to have to fire off some bets, most likely on the side of Team United States of America. Yeah?
Well, now hold on, because I'm glad you brought that up. I talked to our very good friend and expert golf sharp, Len Ashby. You can follow him at Zen of Len on Twitter. I talked to him in the studio, Jeff.
Okay.
He played collegiate golf. He watches golf religiously. He gives me very sharp insight. He said, Hanks, Europe, bet Europe, all of it. Just take it, put it on Europe. America's not inspired. Europe lives for this. Bet Europe.
Europe is at about plus 180. I mean, that's quite the price
now,
to
hold
get on
on.
Europe.
For most points, they're plus 224 on Circa.
Plus 224. I should say plus 180 to lift the trophy, but for most points, plus 224. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, plus 224.
There's some value there if Len likes the old Europeans.
And I'm dressed. I mean, I got my American Buffalo Bills hat on.
I could
got
just
red, white,
never
blue,
bet on Europe.
This doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But it sounds like if you want to make a little money, you got to bet Europe, Jeff.
You're going to bet on Ian Poulter?
No.
Ugh, it's on Sergio?
I kind of like Sergio.
Oh,
I saw Sergio Garcia
yeah.
when he was 19 years young play in the U.S. Amateur Championship at Oak Hill,
Wow.
outside
really?
of Rochester, New York, or in Rochester, New York. And everybody, we were all following him, and his nickname at the time was El Nino. I've never seen anyone take a cut at a ball like this. Now, the only problem with watching Sergio at the time on the golf course, he took upwards of 6 to 10 minutes every single shot.
Miserable when he started raising his hands and raising the club just barely before he was ready to hit it.
But I like Sergio.
Well, go USA. I do like, and you might agree here, as far as the individual players' points are concerned, I think there's some value at Tony Finau at 26-1. He's got good Ryder Cup history. I'm pretty sure he's a guy that would play every single round. There's foursomes in morning and afternoon on both Friday and Saturday, and then the singles match, which everybody plays. But not everybody plays all of the matches. I think Finau, they would probably run out every single one, and 26-1, I think, is some good value there.
You think that, you're going to get the most points by whoever's the favorite to play the most events, right? So Finau's just not going to get the sort of volume that like the favorite Rahm,
like Rahm,
America,
JT, are going to play all of them. We know that for sure. But I think we can make an educated guess that so is Finau, because he has some momentum and he has a good Ryder Cup history. So if he's playing just as much as the rest of them, but we're getting him at 26-1, let's rock and fire, baby.
All right, then I'll see your Finau, and I want to go a little Daniel Berger as well. 35.
Okay. 35-1. Okay.
35-1 on Daniel Berger. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. And then finally, let's wrap with this Super High Roller Bowl 6 coming to the Poker Go studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. The action starts on Monday. Complete coverage on Poker Go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Brent will be there. Brent and I will be there on the final day at Break Desk on Sidelines. If you had to make a prediction right now, who wins Super High Roller Bowl 6?
I got Jason Kuhn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is he going to play with the baby on the way?
Oh, shit.
Maybe have a backup if he doesn't play.
Oh, I just realized, and I just saw beautiful boy, Calum Kuhn. Congratulations.
Did they have the baby?
They just had him yesterday.
Oh.
I thought that's why you said it. They just had this.
I knew it was any day now. Okay, that is fantastic. Congratulations to the Kuhn family.
Yeah. He just arrived. So, boy, I didn't even think about that. That was silly. Yeah, but you know what? If he does play, I for sure like him now because that new baby run good on top of being one of the best players in the world.
Okay, so pick a backup, which we'll let you have if he doesn't play.
Oh, I'm going to go with Jesus. Well, not Chris Ferguson. Give me Negreanu.
Okay.
Give me Negreanu. Okay. He's on a heater. He's got 2 victories here. Give me Negreanu.
Okay. I'm going to take Ali Amsherovich because he's not on a heater and it's just he's due or something. He's just too good to brick out everything. He had one Poker Masters final table. I think that's effectively a brick in his mind. So give me the Phenom, and we'll see you next week for Super High Roller Bowl 6 on Poker Go. Before we go, Brent, you are rocking a cool hat. It may or may not be as cool as the visor that you were rocking last week. Can you still go to hairclub.com/poker?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't have my visor on me, but if I want to get another free visor, go to hairclub.com/poker. You get a free visor with a free consultation, a free deck of Poker Go playing cards, and you'll be in a raffle. A raffle? I don't know if it's a raffle, but we'll call it a raffle. A raffle for $1,000 worth of gift cards, as well as an autographed book of Deal Me In by both Phil Hellmuth and Antonio S. Fandiari. Hairclub.com/poker. Go check it out.
There it is. There it is from Brent Hanks. Oh, and also, just folks, just if you want to be, as they say, smarter than energy, check out Nerd Focus. Check out their website. The promo code is POKER for 20% off. That's it. It's easy. Promo code POKER, nerdfocus.com, promo code POKER. Boom, you're in. 20% off, and you are smarter than energy with a little think drink, as you would say, yeah?
A little think drink. By the way, Nerd Focus, thank you guys so much because we used our promo code POKER. We saved 20% off. Jeff, our shipment has just arrived at the Poker Go studio right in time for the Super High Roller Bowl this week.
How many Nerd Focuses do you think you'll have throughout the 3 days of Super High Roller Bowl 6?
I average 2 to 3 a day. Whenever we're in the studio,
probably averages like 3.5, but go ahead.
No, that's That's probably, yeah, you're right. So I would set the line at 10.5.
Okay, 10.5. Place your bets. Find us on Twitter. He's at Buffalo Hanks. I'm at Jeff Platt. We are at NGNF Show. Thanks to our producers, Aiden and John. And thank you all so much for listening, for watching, for downloading any day now on Apple Podcasts, but we're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on YouTube, where we would love for you to like and subscribe. Subscribe on your podcast apps, rate, review, all that good stuff. And we will see you again. We will see you at the World Series of Poker next week. We'll see you then. For now, peace out.